Hello amigos, how are you? Well, I'm making another video. Today's video is going to be, it's not going to be short unfortunately, because it's quite a big dish. It's empanada gallega. Empanada gallega, it's a Galician pie. Obviously you can make pie with different ingredients. The pastry is the same, but then the ingredient is different. You can make it with pork meat, octopus, cockles, cod, salted cod, tuna. Today I'm going to make tuna, empanada de bonito, we call it, yeah? For me, my favourite one is the cod and the tuna one, yeah? There's a place in Galicia, there's an area in Galicia which is quite famous for their empanadas. It's Carral, not far from where I grew up actually. The origins of the empanada is from the Goths in the 7th century. Some say it was the Persians used to do something similar, the Greeks used to do something similar, but yeah, but this is quite traditionally from the northwest of Spain. That's where I grew up, that's where I'm from. Our culture is basically Celt culture, and we do all these sort of things because the weather up north, where I'm from, is quite cold. So yeah, I'm going to show you the steps, step by step. First of all, I'm going to do the condiments, then I'll do the dough afterwards, because I need this to be cool, you know, to cool down before I can put it inside the pastry, yeah? So I'm going to show you, so we need, well, I use bread flour. I'm going to use bread flour. I need sweet paprika, sorry, saffron, roasted peppers. I'm not going to put the whole, but if you don't have roasted peppers like these, you can do fresh peppers, stick them in the oven, take the skin off, and then chop them and put them inside. And obviously yeast, salt and olive oil, yes, and onions and tuna. Okay, so I'm going to start chopping the onions quickly, just because I just remembered many years ago, I think it was 1989, I used to, it was one of my first jobs. I used to work in this restaurant in Knightsbridge, Bassett Street, near Harrods. And it was quite a busy place, especially in the Harrods sale. And we used to, because we were so busy, sometimes we used to raise each other chopping onions. And of course, we had to sort of be see who was faster, because we had a lot of chopping anyway. So I'm just going to show you. Hold on, just let me sharpen the knife. Doesn't seem to be sharp enough. So okay, this. So just cut the onions like Juliana style, yeah? Like this. So don't do what I'm doing, because it's just a practice. Yeah, I can do this without even without looking. This is not safe, okay? Unless you are confident enough to do it. See, I'm almost crying now. If you don't want to cry, just put them in water for a little bit, little warm water, and then you know, you won't be crying. You see? There you go, guys. So in a minute I'll show you the next step. Okay, guys? So once you've done the chopping, like 4 or 5 onions, like medium onions, you need to fry them. So obviously I'm going to put some oil, like 4 spoons of oil. That's bigger than a tablespoon. It's more of a serving spoon, right? Tablespoon is slightly smaller. So like if it's a tablespoon, just put 4. If it's a serving spoon, 3 is enough. 3.5. Yeah, 2. So it gives you an idea. 3 and a little bit. Okay. So now we let it heat all up, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay. Now I'm going to put the onions in, and make sure you keep. No, we're going to sort of simmer the onions, but make sure you keep stirring the onions. You don't want them to get burnt. Yeah? So just put it fire a bit lower. Bit of salt, as always. sea salt. Yeah. That's it. A bit more. That's it. So you don't want to burn, you just want to simmer them. Yeah? So once they're ready, I'll show you the next step. Okay. Right, now the onions are cooked, so I turn the fire off completely. I have 2 tins of tuna that I've sort of mixed a little bit, so it's completely off. The tuna. Now I'm gonna add the roasted peppers. So I'll take out not the whole jar. Let's see. Just take 1, 2. Let's see, maybe 2 or 3. Let's see. I'm gonna cut them first, and then I'll see. Yeah. So I cut them in small pieces. Okay. So open them in half. Okay. So you can see these have been roasted, and then the skin has been taken off. Okay? Let's see. So like that, not too small, just that you can fill them later on the pie. But like I said, if you don't have this type of peppers, you can even put fresh red peppers in there, or you roast them in the oven first, and then you know, mix them up. Yeah, that should be alright. So 2 peppers is enough. Yeah. So just let me take this away, put them in there. Okay. So I'm going to just mix it all up. Now what I'll do now, see, mix it all up, yeah? What I'll do now, a tip of paprika, yeah? Not a spoon, just a little tip, look. This is enough. Well, a bit more. Just to give a bit of colour. So just put it all over like that. And then saffron, yeah? I've got a bit of saffron there, so again, just to give colour. Alright, so just put it all around. Okay. I like to buy it like this. Some people buy it already in powder. I like it like this. So now we left this to rest. Leave this to rest. Okay. Put a bit of more. It needs a bit more oil because it looks a bit dry. So I put a bit more oil there. Okay. So to leave it, you don't want too much oil either, because otherwise later on in your stomach when you eat it, because you eat this cold, you'll sort of be repeating, you know, it comes back, the flavour comes back to your mouth. So look, so okay, maybe you need more oil, a little bit more. That's it, enough. Okay, that sort of will mix with the flavour. So you stir it and let it cool down. And then the next step is going to be the dough. But I'm stop the video in 1 second. I'm going to change and I'm going to say something in Portuguese for my Portuguese friends. Vocês podem fazer isto com bacalhau, né? Sabem aquele bacalhau desfiado que se compra no supermercado, bacalhau salgado, que para mim é das empanadas que mais me agradam, né? Você compra aquele bacalhau desfiado, põe a desalgar e faz o mesmo que fiz eu, só que tem que cozinhar o bacalhau com cebola, né? Por exemplo, o atum é diferente, porque o atum já vem na tina, né? Já vem cozinhado, já vem preparado, mas já vem em conserva. Mas o bacalhau vai ter que cozinhar o bacalhau com a cebola. Mas podem fazer isto de polvo, podem fazer isto de carne de porco, podem fazer isto também com parmesão. Há muitas maneiras, que vocês quiserem, mas eu sei que vocês gostam de bacalhau e de atum, então é a melhor maneira de fazer empanada, para o meu gosto, mas cada um escolhe a sua maneira, está bem? Obrigado, amigos. Ok, now is the next step. I'm going to do the dough. So I put about 600 grams of bread flour there. 200 mils of water, warm water. Spoon of salt. Put a spoon of salt there. That's it. Okay. I put 7 grams of yeast, so let me just get a packet, one of these packets. Let's see how it opens.
700 grams.
Sorry, 7 grams, not 700 grams. Okay. So yeast. So I mix it all up first. Yeah. So it's, so it gets well mixed now. Then I add the water, and then I'll mix up with the water, and then I put the oil the last minute. Yeah, I will show you step by step. Okay. So if there's not enough water, if you see there's not enough water, you can add more. What you don't want is to put too much water. Okay. Okay. So I'll show you the next step in a second. Yeah. So now I'm going to add another 100 mils of water, because as you can see it needs more water. But that's how I do it, slowly, because I don't want to end up with too much water on the dough. Okay, so I'll see in a minute. Okay, so now I'm going to put the oil. To start off, I'm going to put let's say 2 tablespoons. Yeah. Yeah, and then if I might put more, but just start off. Okay. Okay. Another one. That's it. Right, and then I'll show you the next step in a second, yeah? So now it's all well mixed, right? Yeah? So what I'll do, I'll leave it there for an hour. Okay? So put a bit of cream film. Okay? And then in an hour, we do the finishing part. Okay? You can do this first if you want, before doing the ingredients, the contents. Or you can do it afterwards, but I like to do it afterwards, so that can cool down. Just cover it nicely. If you don't want to put clean film, you can put a tea towel anyway. A clean tea towel. I like clean film better because I can see. You know, I don't have to lift up the tea towel, and it's nicely sealed. Okay, so let's see. And leave it somewhere warm. There it's probably quite warm, and then I'll show you the next step in a while. Alright guys? Right, that's another thing I want to show you guys. I've put all the tuna, the condiment here. Put a bit more oil there to wash the frying pan. So I get this out. The reason I'm doing this is because afterwards, once I do the pie, yeah, I can use the liquid. Instead of having an egg wash on top of the pie, I'll use the liquid to sort of wash the pie with it, and that adds flavour to it. Yeah. Okay. I'll show you. Well, in an hour's time, I'll come back and I'll finish the pie. Alright. See you in a minute, guys. Okay, guys. That's it. It's been an hour. So look, it's grown in size. It's doubled. So I'm gonna cut it in half, and then I'm gonna knead it a little bit, and then make it into shape with a pin roll. And I got grease paper here, so I'm going to use a grease paper to put in the oven rather than a tray. Okay, this is what I do for pizzas as well. I use grease paper, so I don't put it in a tray. So just a little bit of flour. It's messy, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said before, cooking is messy. Sorry. That's it. Oh. Okay. So now to take all the out and just do it, yeah, nicely. Yeah, you want it nicely. So, and then what I do, I cut it in half. I make 2 balls. Okay, do it about 5 minutes or a few minutes. It smells delicious actually. So now it's done. I've knead it for a little bit, for about a minute or something. So cut it in half, or almost half. Okay. Because one is for the base, one is for the top. So what I do, I just make it round, go around both. Okay. It needs to be nice and brown as much as possible. I want it to be completely round, yeah? Okay. So, flour. Otherwise it gets stuck. It gets stuck to the... Yeah? Make it a nice shape. So... And then you stretch it, yeah? And then once I stretch it, I show you the next step, okay? So I just put more flour underneath the board, otherwise it gets stuck, yeah? So I'll stretch. I want to make it into a circle, yeah? Really perfect circle. Like you are making a pizza. So you see, I do that, 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 that. So stretch that, stretch that, stretch that. Yeah, just use your fingers to keep it round. See, like that. A bit more. Push like that. Push that side. Just want to make sure it's still round. So I want to make it slightly more, slightly more. This is exactly similar way. It's similar to a pizza way. So again, I can use my fingers to make it perfectly round. Yeah. Right, stretch a bit more. That's it. No, that way. If you haven't got a pin roll, you can use a bottle, a wine bottle. You know. So that's probably enough. Let me see. Let me see the grease paper. Yeah, a bit more. I can do a bit more because I want to make sure it fits in the grease paper. Yeah. If one grease paper is not enough, you just put two, one, you know, overlapping each other. And then what I'll do, I'll put the filling. Yeah. So I got it done. See? So I put it on the grease paper. Yeah. Okay. So make it as round as possible. Alright. So doesn't have to be perfect, but now do the rest bit. And the next bit. The next bit. I'm going to take a little bit for the decoration, yeah? So let's see, how much should I take? Let's take this bit. Should be alright for the decoration. So again, you do the same thing, and then I'll show you when it's ready, yeah? Now I've done the top bit, so now what I do is do the filling, so I swap them around. Hold on. Okay. The top bit, I like it thinner than the bottom side. Okay, so I've got the filling here. So I'll put the oil there, because that's going to be like the egg wash. Alright, let's do this now. Yeah. Okay. So now get a spoon. That's it. Okay. So it's that one there, sorry. One more. This, I tell you what, I've tried this before, the filling before, and it's delicious. It has to be cool, it has to be cold, yeah? If it cannot be, that's why I done the filling first. Okay? Spread it nicely. And this has to be eaten cold. So once it's been cooked, you let it cool down. And it's okay to eat the next day or a couple of days later. But believe me, it won't last more than a day. Because it's really delicious. And you can do the same with other fillings, you know, you can actually do, you know, you can do pork meat, salted cod, you know, there's many fillings you can do, seafood, whatever you want. Eh? This principle is very similar. So I don't fill it up to the end, you know, because obviously I want to make a I want to twist around the edges so to seal it. Okay. I smell, I can smell it. Oh, the smell is delicious. Trust me. So that's it. That's more or less done. Just make sure it's all flat and well mixed. Look at that. Now the top. Look at that. Look at that. See? What a beautiful. So you try and twist. Twist on the edges to make it back be pulled in. Twist nicely. Don't worry about it's not perfect. Just make sure you twist. Okay? So doesn't have to be perfect. Just to sort of get it through. It's so easy, you see. Just you hold with one finger and you turn it with another, right? See? Okay, let me just do it nicely there. That's it. Make it look nice. So it's like, look at the shape, yeah? More or less round. Okay? So now, I'm going to do the rest. I'll show you the rest in a second, yes? Now, this is the bits I saved from the other pie. So basically, to do the little decoration. So I need to sort of do a little circle. So do this. Make it really flat. Don't worry, whatever is left, just make it really flat. It's just maybe doesn't have to be too thick because you don't want it to be too thick. Yeah? All right, this is. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay? It's just the main thing is the taste and the flavour. Be nice. Okay. So what I'll do now, I got glass there, so I'll cut it in parts. Let's see. Yeah. Perfect. So put that in there. There you go. So that's a set. So what you do is just take it, cut the middle, give and take. Because you want to make a little hole. So I just want to make a hole so it breathes. Okay. Okay. So That's it. Doesn't have to be. Let it start. And I'll show you the next step in a second. Yeah? Now I'm rolling the dough like this, like a long spaghetti. This is just to do decoration anyway. Yeah. So I don't want to make it too thick, so one is enough. That's it. Right, that's it. Let's cut the ends. So I get the oil now, you see. So I'll just wash it like this. So it helps to sort of stick. Okay. Yeah, it's too long. It's okay, a bit shorter. This is just for decoration. Okay. Because otherwise you'll end up with too much dough. So I'll do another one. And then that one. Let's take the knife out. I dropped it, never mind. Luckily I got a spare one. Okay. It doesn't really matter if you end up with more dough than you need, because this is what can happen. Okay. Is that it? That's it. You want it really thin. You don't want it really thick, because otherwise. Yeah, so you see, you do it, put it all up there, that's how you do it. Okay, so you can stretch, always in the same direction, yeah? See? Nice, it's thin enough, just probably around there. Bit of a push. It's just oil from the tuna that from the filling, yeah? Now, this is what you do. You add the circle, yeah? Because you need the hole to sort of. Now I'm gonna fork and make some holes. So otherwise the dough will inflate. So it allows it to breathe when it's in the oven. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, of course, but it's just right. And now you wash it all off. You see? This is it's got the tuna flavour, the peppers, yeah, everything in there. Okay, that's why it's important to drain the drain it, because otherwise you won't get this, and then you have to use proper egg wash. But I like this better than the egg wash. Yeah, you see. Okay, this is ready to stick in the oven. Just make sure it's all nicely covered. Yeah. And I would say you preheat the oven about 180 degrees. No, it doesn't matter, that's fine. Yeah, 180 for about 25 to 30 minutes, we'll see. Yeah. This you gotta do it obviously in stages, but yeah. That's it. Okay, well done. Yeah, let's do all that nicely. Do that as well. Just a brush to stick it there. Okay, now I'm going to stick it in the oven. This is in the bin, I don't need that. You can use a bowl or you can just do it like this. Yeah, probably easier to do it like this. Eh? Take the tray out from the oven. Alright, and now on he goes. Oh, sorry, wrong way. Turn the tray around. That's better. So make sure you don't break. And then when you take it out, you can use a board like that or whatever. It's up to you. Isn't it? Yeah. Alright, let's stick it in the oven. And hopefully it will come out nicely. And I'll show you when it's ready. Okay guys, I'll see you in a second. Okay amigos, that's it. It's done now. So it's been in the oven about 20 minutes now. About 20 minutes. Turn everything off. This you cannot. I won't suggest it hot. You let it cool down and you do it the next day. Yeah. So basically, let's turn around. You see how nice it looks. So this is a famous empanada gallega. Yeah. So as you can see, the grease paper has made. See, it's nicely cooked. See, and you can see the juice. The juice is inside the empanada. Hold on, let me put it there so you can see better in the camera. See? So obviously that allows it to breathe, and it's all solid. Okay? So that overnight, as it cools down, the dough is going to absorb some of the juices from the filling, yes? Okay? And that's it really. That's how easy it is to do empanada. You can do, obviously you can do bigger size. So what you do, you add more flour. Instead of 600 grams, you can add a kilo or 800, whatever. Depends on the size. If you want it as big as that, I would say 800 grams of flour. Same amount of yeast, right? Add a few more onions and an extra tin of tuna and an extra pepper, and that's it. The rest of the process is all very similar. So I hope, guys, I hope you like it. Anyway, that's my empanada gallega, my Galician pie. Yeah, and like I said, it doesn't have to be tuna. It can be cod, it can be octopus, it can be pork meat, whatever filling you want to add in there. Okay. So I hope you like it, guys. Yeah. I tell you what, I can smell it. Yeah. The aroma is. I feel like eating it now, but I won't. Okay. I'll leave it for tomorrow. Guys, good night. Yeah. See you soon.